Hi, this is Chris Garcia with MyTabletlife.com with a review of the Viewsonic G-Tablet. This is a 1 GHz NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor, dual-core processor, ARM Cortex A9 CPU with 512 megabytes of DDR2 memory. Has 16 gigabytes of internal storage. It is expandable with a micro SD card. And as you can see, as it's loading up, it comes with a interface. It is running Android 2.2, but it has the tap and tap UI interface on top of that, so you don't get a vanilla Android 2.2 experience. It's a 10.1-inch capacitive touchscreen, and it weighs about 1.5 pounds. It has a 1.3 megapixel camera, front-facing camera. You got your hardware keys on the side, your regular Android hardware keys, search, home, menu, back. And then, like I said, you have your tap and tap UI interface here that when you load up the device. With that, it has multiple home screens that you can choose from. This is your beginning one. Takes a little bit to load up. They change colors, gives you some different things, to-do lists, menu, Gmail. This is another one, has the headlines, your clock. You will notice the time and the clock are off. This is one of the issues with the G-Tablet device, is the time does not stay after reboots. Also having Wi-Fi issues. This is my second device. My first device actually stopped working within 4 hours. This device had some Wi-Fi issues which would not fix themselves on their own, even with calling customer support. I did find on the web at tegratab.com they had a fix which has worked. The initial suggestion was to install Wi-Fi, which is another application to run your Wi-Fi. That, however, only worked once and did not after that. So the fix from tegratab.com actually has made the Wi-Fi work, which obviously makes this a much better device. A tablet without Wi-Fi is pretty useless. Just to show you other parts of the device, on the bottom is a connector. This is for HDMI, USB, also headphones. It's the same type of connection. It's called a PDMI connection that's on the Dell Streak. You have your microphone jack right there. On this side you have your headphone, your power, that's one of the speakers. You have a mini USB port, and then a full-size USB port, and your, and it takes a little bit to get that open, and your micro SD slot. That's right there. And then your power button, like I said, that's a full USB, and then the micro USB and your SD card. At the top you have your volume up and down, and then on this side another speaker, so that's the device there. As you notice, it does have an accelerometer in it, so it will change depending on where you are. It does not, however, do that in the tap and tap UI. That is only in landscape mode, but if you're in some of the other programs, it will give you portrait also. Also, it is a 1080p, which is part of the NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor, should allow you to do that. We have been able to test some video. There have been reports of some stuttering on some of the different videos, so it doesn't seem to be handling it as well as it should. This also is an Android 2.2 device, so it should support Adobe Flash 10.1. However, it is not working on the device. Some reports are that there will not be an update until December that should be working. Also, as I mentioned, there's some other issues with the time and the Wi-Fi, and there's currently no sort of market at all to purchase apps on here. Viewsonic is promising that there will be an update by Thanksgiving that should fix those issues, but that is pretty far away, a few weeks still, with this tablet being already available for many to have some of those issues, especially the Wi-Fi and time issues, not resolved pretty quickly, so that's a little disheartening. It is Wi-Fi, like I said, it's BGN support, if it does work. The battery life is very good. Some reports over 12 hours, even with running Wi-Fi and everything. Video playing, web surfing. I'm getting a really good, a few days worth with running it for a few hours each day. Let's go over the tap and tap UI just a little bit. You just notice you have some icons at the bottom: news, weather, web, clock, contacts, email, to do, grocery, calendar, music, photos, settings, and if you click up here, you get a few more. Calculator, camera, file explorer, search, sound recorder, the tap UI, that's to update the tap and tap, videos, and the only installed app that I have on here is Wi-Fi. That was to try to get the Wi-Fi connection to work correctly. Everything else came on here as part of the device out of the box. You also have your settings. That's where your control. Not like your normal Android settings menu, does have some other things. Tells you your Wi-Fi connection, display, storage, battery life, and some other your normal stuff. This is supposed to where you can change the location and the time, manage your applications. You can sideload apps by connecting it to a computer, so that's the way. Since it does not have Google Apps, there is no Gmail app, there is no Gtalk, no Gmaps, no Android Market out of the box, so you'll have to sideload the apps on your own. You have the news category, just brings it up in full. You have top stories, world, sci-fi, tech, entertainment. You can scroll through those and choose your article, and it will load those. Going back, weather, the web. Obviously the web browser is probably the most use you'll get out of this. It's not the standard Android web browser. It is a little bit of an adaptation of their own. You'll see the on-screen keyboard, which is pretty usable. It's better than some of the tablets we've seen that just use the straight out of the box Android keyboard on the tablet, which doesn't usually make sense. So let's just bring up our web page here. And it is a multi-touch web browser, so it does support that. Let's get security warning. Continue. It is multi-touch, so you can pinch to zoom. If I can show you that here. There we go. It usually does run pretty well, pretty smooth. You can scroll. Scrolling is pretty good, as you see. And pinch to zoom. Not doing so great, but it usually does pretty good. So there's the web browser kind of in action. Like I said, there is no Flash working at the moment. Viewsonic is promising that hopefully in December at this time. It seems none of the Tegra, the NVIDIA Tegra 2 tablets that have come out, like the Toshiba and this device, Flash does not seem to be working on any of them at the moment, so it's not just something to this device. People are speculating that Adobe has not gotten everything working correctly with the Tegra 2, even though we had seen some demos showing Flash in the past on even this device itself. Going back to the bottom, you have contacts. It has its own email, since it's not Gmail. Nice little desk kind of interface here. You can have several accounts, you can bring them up, and then you can show there's your emails, you can kind of scroll through them. So it's kind of nice looking, it's not too bad. Go back here. Also you have your to-dos. You can make to-do lists, grocery, calendar. So said it's a full size. You can do it, put your events in here, everything. You will notice that sometimes the tap and tap UI is a little slow. I'm going to week and then month, so you can add your calendar events in there. And also on here you can put your contacts in. You can transfer them. Right now only up to 300 contacts from your Gmail account, so that's a little weird. They actually do say they are going to work on to expand that also, but you can kind of cycle them through there. It's pretty easily done. Also we got on here is your music application. You can have your music on the internal storage. Like I said, there is 16 gigabyte internal storage, and then you can expand it with your SD card. Photos, you can bring up your gallery, you can bring up whatever photos you may want to put on the device and cycle through them. Just like that. Also on the device, like I said, you should be able to run video. It should be capable of 1080p video. We actually have to use the file explorer to load because it didn't detect some of the video files that I put on here. I'm not sure why that's the case. But you can see here, good old Buck Bunny. That running just to give you a good idea. The speakers are really good on this also, because like I said, you have the speakers on both sides, so you do get some nice sound. It's one of the things a lot of people have noticed is the good sound quality on the device. So One of the issues, and you may notice a little bit with watching this video, and some of the big complaints are the viewing angles. Unless you are directly on, you get not the greatest pictures. You lose the viewing pretty quickly in these angles. So it looks really nice straight on and very bright, but you do lose it. So using this as an e-reader, or watching videos on the couch or in bed, you have to hold it up, and it is 1.5 pounds, so that may not be the greatest for everyone. So that's the video player there. And that's pretty much the basics. Like I said, there's no store at the moment, so there's not many things that you can put right on the device. You can sideload some of your apps. I will tell you that many of the games are not currently working. Some people suggest it's to do with the way the memory is mapped. Angry Birds is not working correctly, and other games with accelerometers where you use them to control the game are not working correctly. And we're not sure why, because the accelerometer does work, but for some reason in those games we're not getting it to work. It doesn't detect it properly. Just to show you, rotate, it does work, but it's not working well in games. So right now this is not recommended as a gaming device until they fix those issues. Many people have called into Viewsonic's customer support, and they have let us know that they should be fixed, but as of right now it's not fixed, so I wouldn't recommend this to buy games on. Also, the quadrant score, if you're wondering, is about 18 to 1900. So the Tegra 2 is a fast device, but with a lot of things not working, you can't really get a good test of that. This is my second unit, if I didn't say that already. My first unit died within 4 hours, so this is a replacement of that unit. This one had the Wi-Fi issue, which I did fix. So there's a lot of issues right now out of the gate. Supposedly a few thousand of these were released now, and by Thanksgiving they're going to really put a big push. That's probably why that update's coming then. So hopefully with that next big update we'll fix the issues with Wi-Fi, time, and they say that's when they'll be adding some sort of store to buy applications from. People have been working on this already, the modders and the hackers out there, to get the market on there in Gmail, and there has been some success. You can check that out on the internet. But as of right now, out of the box, this is pretty much what you get, and you have to sideload your own apps to run anything else. So as of right now, this isn't the greatest device. It does have a lot of promise. It's $3.99 to purchase at Sears. I'm sure some other locations will have it soon, probably before Thanksgiving. It is a rebadge of several other devices, if you'll recognize this Tegra 2 device. So Viewsonic did not build this in-house, and that's why, since their developers aren't working on it themselves, it may take a little bit longer to get some of these updates through. The first update, a month after the device comes out pretty much, and they're promising Flash to work hopefully in December. So that's pretty much it for the moment. This is the Viewsonic G-Tablet, and this has been the review from Chris Garcia at MyTabletlife.com.